Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I am Monica, the Kismet Chemist, and this is Lunar Living. If you are unfamiliar, if you're coming here for the first time, Lunar Living is my series on the moon, and I do this monthly for the new moon, the first quarter moon, the full moon, and the third quarter moon. I also will be doing specials during the eclipse seasons, both in the spring and in the fall, so stay tuned for those. And the whole purpose and intent of this series is to understand the energies of the moon, which is how I view the entrance of our soul into our natal charts, but also into our world, into our life here. And so I wanted to do a series in which we get intuitive readings, but we also look at the astrological breakdown, and we live a little bit closer to a more natural way of living, which actually falls in perfectly for this new moon in Aries, which falls on April 1st of 2022, which just so happens to be April Fool's Day. And I, of course, being the researcher that I am and wanting to know information, looked up the origins of April Fool's Day. And back in France, I believe it was in 1523, don't quote me on the exact date because I could be wrong, I could be mixing my numbers up, but I believe it went as far back as the 1500s, when France changed from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar. The first of the year switched from the spring equinox and the start of the Zodiac year, which is Aries, to January 1st. And anyone who missed the memo, so to speak, on the calendar change and still celebrated the beginning of the new year in late March, early April, was called a fool. And thus April Fool's was born and grew from there, just because we have to play tricks on people. Now, this new moon in Aries is kind of the same energy. It is the beginning of the moon cycles of the year 2022 on a zodiac scale. So the moon cycles go based off of each zodiac season. We did just enter into Aries season, so we do have the new moon in Aries, which means that the full moon will be in its oppositional sign, or Libra. However, there is an auspicious event which is occurring at the end of April, and it coincides with a solar eclipse, a partial solar eclipse in Taurus, and that would be a second new moon in the month of April. That makes it a black new moon. Now, if you caught anything of what I've been talking about in the past, both with Aquarius season, but also with the moon cycles back in February, February was considered in Central Time Zone, I believe it was Mountain Time Zone and Pacific Time Zone in the US, and those time zones below us. It was considered a black moon month because there was no new moon that fell within the month of February, because we had two new moons in the month of January, which there's very little information about what a black moon means spiritually. Some people see it as an omen of darkness and of evil. With Pluto doing its return to the same degree as it was during the American Revolution, I did actually trace back this specific event during that time. The three black moons in the first half of the year. This also occurred in 1775, which the last new moon occurred 19 days prior to the start of the Revolutionary War. So there is a lot of energy changes that are very reminiscent of a time in which there was so much conflict, but there was a strong proponent and fight for freedom, for a belief of a better life, a belief of a better world, a belief of a new world made to order, I guess you could say, is what I just heard too. That was the inception of the country that I live in, the country I was born into. It may not always be the country that I want to claim, but in moments in which it comes to unity or division, I have seen more often than not, most of humanity will choose unity. And that is something that I feel very strongly as a message here with this new moon in Aries. Even though it's April Fool's Day, even though we get a second chance in the month of April to have a new beginning, we can choose to either start a new beginning and really get a feel for it and see if we have all the kinks worked out and give ourselves the entire month to work out the kinks before the second new moon hits, and double down on that new beginning. Really show the universe, this is what I want, this is what I plan on, these are the seeds I'm planting, and I'm doubling down on this. Throwing extra miracle grow on it, or something along those lines. Or you can say, April Fools, I was just kidding with what I said in Aries. I think I'm going to go with another one. I kind of think we have a little bit more leeway with the universe right now. There seems to be a lot more energy coming in. There's a lot more potent energy, and it can impact us in a negative way. I know a lot of us are getting headaches, physical, absolute horrible physical pain. I know I have been in a state of really, really almost traumatic physical pain lately. And yet I'm sitting here and I don't feel any pain at all. So I know that it's a passing thing. It's something that will come, it will hit, and then it will leave. It will disperse. It feels like remnant pain, like remnants of a time gone past, just as it is flushing its way out of my system and out of your system and out of the collective system. So this new moon in Aries also signifies a new zodiac year. It's a new energy that's moving through the collective. What I'm seeing in the charts is something truly magnificent. First of all, there is this absolutely beautiful stellium of the sun, the moon, Chiron, and Mercury's all in Aries. Aries is that cardinal fire sign, ruler of the first house, ruled by Mars. Go get it. Fight for your passion. Absolutely. Even when you look at the constellation, the major stars in the constellation of Aries, it is a straight shooter kind of sign. How your soul, how your ego communicate, and how you communicate your needs, your emotions, your wants, and especially your passions and your desires into the world. No matter how large or small scale this communication comes in, is all being healed, and it is all being highlighted during this new moon phase. And I'm going to take that dinging on my husband's computer as your confirmation of this truth. This new moon is not just the beginning of a phase that has been closing since the Aries full moon in October of 2021. It's about a completely new start. A new start for 2022, a new start in the world, but a new start in your life. There's this blending of 11th, 12th, and 1st house energies, and it's that energy really shines most strongly. That's terrible grammar, I'm sorry. It shines strongly with the karmic regulator and teacher that we all know and love, Saturn. But Saturn is sandwiched between Venus and Mars in Aquarius. It's almost as if with Venus and Mars having traveled together, they're the two, teenagers that were holding hands, and they got caught by the teacher, and now the teacher is standing in between them. And it's really a testament to see whether you are going to fight for your values, whether you're going to have that passionate drive for the things that you love, for creating art, for seeing the beauty in things. And you have someone who's there saying, okay, I understand that this is how you see things, but you need to make sure that it's actually what is right for you. And to me, when I look at that chart, when I look at those three in Aquarius, and I think about Aquarius and the cupbearer and the mythology of Zeus loving the cupbearer so much that he kidnapped him just so that he could have him as his own, it feels very much like that teenager energy, that like as a mom of a teenage daughter, it feels so much. I feel like I resonate so much with Saturn right now, because it's like Saturn is saying, okay, but is this right for you? Is this really what you want? Can you please dig deeply into yourself and see? With Jupiter and Neptune sitting in Pisces in the 12th house as Pisces rules, and it doesn't matter where the houses are falling right now. I'm giving you traditional breakdown. That's what's important here that I can feel. So we've got this Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces, and it's the traditional ruler and the modern ruler, and it's the old meets the new, the ancient meets the modern, and they're melding together finally. And they're really working to expand our gifts, to expand our third eye, to expand all the things that we have held within our subconscious mind, to expand them outwards so we can see them, we can heal them, we can move on. You have this Saturn energy saying, are you sure this is right for you? At the same time as all of this expansion is going on in the middle, and on the other side you have this deep healing of who you are and of your place in the world, and how you see yourself in the world, and how you communicate with yourself, but how you communicate with the world, how you communicate with spirit. It is this huge energy in those three houses right now, and it is really, really calling us to transform, to allow this transformation to occur. We've got such beautiful collaboration of energy going on, and it is calling to us to collaborate with it. We talk about co-creation with spirit. This is co-creation right now. This is prime time co-creation moon energy. Everybody's going to see it differently. And it really is going to be a different energy for everybody. But that is the overwhelming energy that I feel so strongly flooding through. So what is it that you want to co-create with the universe? What is it that you want to collaborate on? What is it that you want to build? What do you want to grow? You know, it's funny, I talk about growing, and I just got these glow or grow lights, you know, and my husband, he jokes, he's like, oh, you're such a druggie. I bought trees. See, I bought trees. And I absolutely love it. I am notorious for killing plants, but I am dedicated and determined that my bamboo will live and that my trees will live and grow. I am dedicated and I'm determined to make this change. Why? Because I want more natural everything around me these days. I have this calling, this pulling to do these things. I've never felt it before, not in this way. That is this energy, this new moon energy, this Aries energy is saying, let's do something different with ourselves finally. Chiron has been moving through Aries for years now, and it will be for a while longer. I cannot tell you the definitive dates because I cannot remember. I want to say it entered in 2018, and it spends about 5 to 6 years in a sign. So we are coming to our end time with it. However, it is this powerful overhaul energy of healing oneself. Think about that. Think about the amount of time that Chiron has been transiting Aries, and the amount of time that Chiron has been spending helping us heal ourselves and who we are and how we work in the world and how the world is going to view us. Now we're coming into that middle phase with Chiron and Aries. We're getting into those middle degrees. We've finally gotten out of those beginning phases, those growing pains, those labor pains. We've shifted out of those finally because Aries is finally now shifting into the second decan or Chiron is shifting into the second decan of Aries. So though that would be the degrees between 10 degrees and 19 degrees and 59 minutes. So now we have Chiron getting into the the core of it, getting into the thick of it, getting into the meat, the grit, the truth, the inner self. Now it's in that phase. We have shifted from that beginning younger energy, and now we're getting into that middle energy, that growth phase. And that's what's healing. And so this new moon, because we're in those early second decan phases, we can really plant those seeds for that inner healing. Let's ease into that inner healing by making the seeds be something that will help us ease into it, help us grow into it, help us transition through this growth process in such a beautiful way. In a way in which we're able to prioritize ourselves without being selfish. It's not about being selfish. It's about knowing our own worth, growing through it, and helping others get there. Now we really have done the first like real struggle of healing of oneself. It's time to get into the harder stuff, but now the outside world is ready to see us. Now the outside world is ready. And this new moon can help us plant those seeds as well. Plant the seeds of inner healing, but plant the seeds of outer growth. That is a beautiful way to look at it. So we're going to get a collective message here. And then I will just, during the collective message, I'm going to pull a couple of oracle cards for each of the elements. And we're just going to do everything collectively this time, just like we did with the last full moon. There's something about the last full moon of the zodiac year, this first new moon of the zodiac year, that feels very much like we need to all be on the same page here. There is so much division, and it is very easy to break it apart per modalities, per elements, per signs. But right now, the world needs us unified. And we can be unified in a much stronger way when we know all the pieces of the puzzle and we work together harmoniously to put the puzzle together. So these 5 cards are, these 2 are about where we have come from. This card, the center signifier card, is where we are going into this new moon. And these 2 are guidance from spirit moving forward. So let's go ahead and take a look at all the cards and we'll see what we have as a message. So we have the 7 of Wands, the King of Wands. So this is the past energy. This is where we were through the last zodiac year. And that, to me, before we pull any other ones, what this is saying is we have really been fighting for our divine masculines. More than anything, we've been fighting to harness the proper energy of divine masculines. We've been fighting and battling and trying to stand up for what we know is right for us, trying to build what we know is right for us, and fight against any and everybody else who wants to take our light and take our power, and we've been doing it in a very masculine way. Now I can see, and I have felt this over and over and over again, that it's time to start healing the divine masculine. It's time to start working with the divine masculine in a way that is true to how divine masculine energy actually is. And divine masculine energy is not a hardened, it's not abusive, it is assertive, but it is assertive in a respectful way. And the divine masculine really is about that assertive respect. So let's find out where we are collectively going into this new moon. We have the Queen of Swords. So that means that, as you can see, we've been fighting for our divine masculine to take action, to move forward. But going into the new moon phase, we're actually going to be sitting in a... to me, the Queen of Swords is like, I'm the divine masculine of the divine feminine. I know that my words can bite. I know that they can cut. I know they can be hard. I know they can be harsh. But I know that they do genuinely come from a place of love and truth. Sometimes sometimes we have to say those hard truths. We have to drop those truth bombs. It's not always easy, but sometimes it's absolutely necessary. It's just what we have to do. But the Queen of Swords is also a channel. She is divinely guided. She has the mind of logic and the soul of intuition, and they blend together and they come forward in communication in a way that we are not accustomed to. And if we stop fighting for the skewed version of the divine masculine, and we see that the divine feminine can also be skewed one way or the other, we can go in by harnessing these energies and bringing them together and healing them equally, rather than having them be at odds anymore. So let's get Spirit's advice going forward. We have the Five of Wands. I am not at all surprised because I've been seeing this continually. And then we have the King of Cups. As you can see here, both the Seven of Wands and the Five of Wands are seen as energies or cards that are about the battle. They're about the fight. But the Seven of Wands is more about defense. You are on the defensive. Whereas Five of Wands is a card of competition. To me, this is a Five of Wands in which you have decided that you're going to do this. Whatever this is for each of you, this is what you're going to do, and you're doing it because you know it comes from the heart. You have learned to take this action-oriented defense mode energy of the masculine and transform it, fight for it, turn it into, through practice, through training, through regulation, into the King of Cups, which the King of Cups is the epitome of the divine masculine energy. That is the divine masculine who knows his heart. He knows his worth. He knows who he is. He knows how to move forward. He knows when to move forward. He knows in which direction forward actually is, because he knows what is right to him, because he fills his cup. I'm so sorry, guys. I all of a sudden have the hiccups, which is a sign that the energy is flowing quite strongly. There's also the factor that my ears are ringing quite a bit. So I actually have here some Titania fortune cards, and I'm just going to get one for each of these spots for the collective before we pull anything for the individual elements. So Spirit, can I get a fortune card for the Seven of Wands and the King of Wands? Okay. And Spirit, for the Queen of Swords, we have the Man. We're going to move her up. We're going to get these all aligned now. And for the Five of Wands and the King of Cups, this one wants to jump out. We have the Polar Bear. We also had the Garden that wanted to come out pretty strongly. Okay, and on the back of the deck we have the doggo. This is beautiful. Okay, so where we are coming from in the past, I mean, I think everybody can interpret a heart, but there's something about this specific heart. It's the way that it's drawn, the way that the energy moves through it. If you look, this heart is about our creation, our creativity. It's about our communication. If you look, this, to me, this heart always glows and it pulsates, and you can see it beating, and you can see the colors flowing and changing, because this is about us having been constantly defending that which we believe our heart needs. Moving from, learning how to move from the heart without having to be defensive, without having to always be on guard. That is, it's about the loving energy of that. To me, this is about the love of the divine feminine and the action of the divine masculine. And where we're sitting at now is we are understanding the manner in which the divine feminine and the divine masculine really do come through. How they present themselves, why they present themselves, and in which way We are meant to harness them and use them for our greatest use, for the greatest good of everyone. Moving forward, what I'm seeing here is Spirit saying this isn't about competition. The polar bear is that strong and steady. It's strong and steady. It's endurance. It's getting through no matter what. A polar bear lives in the coldest climates and it still endures. It still creates a family, creates a home. It knows its place and it stands firm in that place. And it doesn't compete with anything because it just knows what it is. It knows what it's worth. And the garden is all about that sacred space with Spirit. It's going into that sacred space and it's knowing the value of your own sacred nature, your own divinity, your own love, your own joy, your own emotions. And Spirit is saying there is so much loyalty here. There's loyalty in everything. This new moon is helping you to have that steady, secure, solid grounding, to have love, to have joy, to have balance in the masculine and the feminine, to have safety and security, and to have a place to escape, and to have that strong and stable, grounded nature that you are. And Spirit is coming through and giving these things to you, handing them to you. And now Spirit wants me to actually split them up and do readings for each sign. Not sign, each element. Please check out your Spirit. Your sun, your moon, your rising. But this is also, you may consider your Mercury sign. I have been feeling that very strongly over the past couple of days. There's a lot of communication. There's a lot of communication from the higher realms coming in. And it's very important for us to focus on those energies. And especially with Mercury. Mercury coming in Aries. Because things that we don't say, they can eat away at us. They can nibble away like a mouse chewing on a rope. And they nibble and nibble and nibble until the last thread of your rope breaks and you break. And Spirit doesn't want that to happen. It's very important that we don't, that we stand tall in who we are and we speak our truths out and we learn this communication. There's something very strong about Mercury. I can't tell you what definitively because it's going to be different for everyone. But Mercury is the fortress. It's the fortress. It's the stronghold. It's where we find our safe place when we talk. And that is what I feel like Spirit is calling for us here. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and do this, the full scope. We're going to look at each element. However, I have the feeling most of the messages are going to bleed from one to the other because of the way that the energies are. But do remember that Spirit has said, and the energy that's coming in is about unity, not division. We are looking to unify. We do not wish for division to be there any longer. Please unify, come together, form communities, form bonds, form the things that are meant to be, that cannot and will not be broken. For when they come from the heart, nothing can be taken from that. Nothing will be taken, nothing will be broken. It's the unbreakable bonds. The unbreakable bonds are the ones that are meant. I'm going to have to watch this back because I'm not entirely sure what's coming through, but it's very interesting. And we just have the 8 of Wands. Rapid change. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for being here for the energy update. Like I said, check your sun, your moon, your rising sign, but also check in on your Mercury sign. And I will see you at your piles. Love you. Hello, fire signs. I know that I said I wasn't going to pull tarot, and I sat and started shuffling, and I don't know if it's because it's habit for me to do it, or because, I'm guessing it's because I have messages for you, because these are starting to pop out. We've got the Seven of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, ooh, the Strength card, holy cow, and the Eight of Cups. That I love. And then we have the Seven of Swords on the back, and we are going to talk about that Seven of Swords because this is exciting. This is exciting to me. You have two sevens and two eights. Ooh, buddy. All right. Wow. Okay, so you guys have been diligently working on something that really genuinely matters to you, but something like what I'm seeing is you're building a community. You're building something, creating something of your own. This is something that has been in the works for a while. This is something that you have wanted for a long time. For many years is what I'm hearing. For many years, this has been on your heart, in your mind, in your soul. And because of that, you have willingly been putting in and putting forth all of this effort, all of this work, and waiting and watching and waiting and watching. Watching. But the thing is what I'm getting right here in the beginning is you have watched yourself grow, but you've also been watching things fall apart. And so now you're understanding. You're understanding that the only things that fall apart are that which isn't meant for us. You're understanding that you have the power. You have the authority. You have it. And the reason why I love this Seven of Swords is because this is literally your energy. But the Seven of Swords, I never see it the way that they talk about it. This is not a card of deception to me. This is a card of, you know what? I know my worth. I know what my thought process is going to be. So I'm going to take these 5 things that actually serve me, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to take a look at those. I'm going to double check. I'm going to verify. But you know what? I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. You literally have him looking back, and he knows it's time to go. You know why? Because he's seen through these 2 pieces that he left behind. He has seen the waiting game. He's seen the time and energy and effort it takes to wait for something to grow when you have been building it. You have been building it. And so now he sees that this is where his power is. He has the strength to temper both sides, and so he's going to walk away. Now, the Eight of Cups, I know what they say about the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is all about building something up, having all these cups, they're all full, all of that. But if you think about it in terms of something that you've built, you're going to go find your 9th cup. You're not walking away from the 8 cups because they're still there. They're still standing. Unless they are knocked down, spilled, burning to the ground, they're still there. So what you're doing is you're going to find your 9th cup. And the 9th cup is all about what you're building, what your hopes, what your dreams are. It is the wish fulfillment cup. So you are on your road because you have harnessed your power, and you know that it's okay to move forward because you built all of this already. So you need to go fill that spot in. Sometimes it's all about the shift of perception. Sometimes these 2 swords are about the past perception of how we used to see things. We could look at the Seven of Pentacles and be like, well, he's just sad and forlorn. Or he's looking at how somebody else has built something and he's choosing to build it in a different way. There may not be as many pentacles, but he gets to stand in his power. So you may have been looking at all the many different things that you could do, and all of that has fallen apart. So let's take a look at your oracle cards. So we have rigid, card 30. Then we have Deceit, the card 38 with Neferet. And then we have the card 15 with Fragment. Okay, so look at what he's seeing. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is, they say it's the card of deception. And you did get the card of deceit. But the thing is are you deceiving yourself into believing a certain thing? Because when you believe a certain way and you won't allow it to change at all, you do become this rigid nature. You decide this is how I'm going to be. And you know what? When you get into that state, you don't own your actual power. And you do end up fragmenting your energy. And that's why you have this here. That's why I was seeing from this and this. You had all of these different things that you wanted to do. All of these different projects that you wanted to do. And then you sat and you watched them being done. But you were fragmented. You fragmented your energy. And so you deceived yourself that you couldn't do more than one thing. You deceived yourself into believing that you needed to walk away from a bunch of stuff that you had built. But that's not necessarily the truth. The truth is that you needed to harness your own inner strength and see what it was that was right for you and what wasn't right for you and get the hell out of Dodge. This new moon is calling you to see where you're being too rigid, to see where you're deceiving yourself, to see where your energy has been fragmented, and to say, screw this, I'm not doing it anymore, I'm walking away. So let's get a message from your chakras and see. And these are going to be quite quick messages. We have the card 36 with Divine Wisdom. And I feel one more for you guys. Yep. 33 and Angels and Masters. Now both of these are, I believe these are soul star chakras, which puts them one above your crown. So your soul star chakra is where you connect to the divine. So this is saying that you have divine wisdom and you have angels and masters all around you during this time. You can't be deceived by anything else aside from your own mind. But if you tap into your divine wisdom and you really work with the angels and masters, this is the time for you to do it. This is the time for you to be able to walk away from the things that don't serve you. I'm seeing repeating 3s, 7s, and 8s. This entire thing, like even this, 38, 30, which is 3. You've got 36. There's a 6 over here. These are your numbers. These are your numbers. Whatever they mean to you, these are your numbers. Whatever that means to you, these are your numbers. That's what I just keep hearing. These are your numbers. But you have angels and masters that are ready to work with you, that are downloading divine wisdom for you, that are helping you walk away from the things that aren't for you, the thoughts, the concepts, the constructs that aren't right for you, so that you can stop being so rigid, because the more rigid you get, the easier it is for you to break. This is about you learning how to communicate in a new way, learning how to see things in a completely new light. How many people, if you're a tarot reader or you know the cards well enough, how many people are going to tell you the 8 of Cups is not about you walking away from something that you love. It's about you going to go find that last piece to bring it back. It is all about perception. It is how you view things. It's how I view things. It's how, Susie next door views things. I don't know. Maybe you have a neighbor named Susie. If that computer is confirming, that's funny. But here's the thing. We don't have to deceive ourselves. And we should never try to deceive others. And angels and masters will not deceive us either. The only deceit there is in allowing another person to have power over us. It's in allowing ourselves to fall victim to mindsets that aren't true to us. This full moon, or I apologize, wow, full moon. This new moon in Aries, and it is a fire moon. It is a fire moon for my fire signs. And I'm a Leo moon, which means that this is moving through it's actually moving through my 9th house. This is a very, very important time. It's very important energy. We shouldn't discount that. You have a lot of divine wisdom that is being downloaded during this moon. Give yourself the chance to walk away from the thoughts and the feelings that just aren't right for you, that aren't you. Fire signs, I want to say thank you so much for your energy. Thank you so much for being here, for receiving this short, brief message about the new moon in Aries for you. Thank you for following the Lunar Living series and being a part of this movement where we live closer to the energy of the cosmos and our more natural energy. Thank you again for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to say thank you to my guides, to your guides, to Spirit, to our higher selves. Thank you for helping facilitate the connections and bring forth the messages that the collective needs right now through me. I appreciate it ever so much. Fire signs, if this resonated, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, and please feel free to share this video with your friends, with your family, with your social media. The more people who love and support my channel, the more these messages get into the collective, and it really does truly help everyone. So I want to say thank you again so much. You guys are awesome. Have a beautiful, beautiful April Fool's Day and new moon in Aries. And you know what? If somebody tells you to get blinker fluid, don't believe it. It's not a real thing. All right, fire signs, I love you. Bye. Hello, earth signs. Well, I know that if you watched the energy update, I said I was just going to pull oracle cards for everyone. But when I started getting stuff ready for the fire signs, the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot was like, nope, it's my turn. And I personally am always quite obliged to listen to my cards when they start yelling for me. And considering yours are just kind of flying out everywhere, we're going to see what they have for you during this time. That one too? Okay. So you guys got 4 cards. So you have the 10 of Swords, the Fool. Oh my gosh, I'm excited by this. The 9 of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. And on the back of the deck, we have the Page of Wands. This is awesome. Don't get alarmed by the 9 of Wands. Let me adjust the lighting here for you guys. So what I'm seeing here is this new moon for my earth signs is literally like the end. It's the end and the beginning, and it's the do-over. You guys get a do-over. This is amazing. So you guys may have been struggling with a lot of your old mindsets coming back. Things that you used to believe, or things that you used to believe about yourself that you thought you had healed away, have come back, and come back with a vengeance. It's like coming back to bite you in the ass, essentially. And this new moon is giving you the opportunity to walk away from it, to end that, for that to no longer be the case. So we're going to actually get oracle cards for each one of these placements, just to give a little bit more of an image. But this Fool card, when I look at the 9 of Wands, you know the thing about the 7, the 8, and the 9, and the 10 of Wands is that even though the interpretation of these cards is about, you know, the wounded warrior or fast movement, defending yourself against other people, there are never any other people on the cards. There's only the one person on the card. And starting on the 7, you have this victory in the 6 of Wands, where you're celebrating and you're going through the streets and all these people are praising you. And then the 7 of Wands is like you're defending yourself against all these people. But really what it looks like to me, what it feels like to me, is it's you building something. You are building upon the inspiration, the success, the celebration, the victory. You're building upon that in the 7 because you're pulling those wands up to put them on higher ground. So now you have conquered the first layer. Now you're pulling that up and putting that on that higher ground. And that really is that Aries, the Chiron and Aries in the second decan energy. And what this is showing me is that you've conquered your mind. You are moving out of that into a new phase, this leaping into the unknown. But in this new phase, you have already built up 9 wands on this higher ground. And because of that, you're going in with these brilliant ideas. The Page of Wands is like true blue, innocent inspiration. It's this knowing that you can do something and just going at it. And the Page of Pentacles, to me, is the beginner's luck card. It is the beginner's luck. It's like you're out walking and it almost looks like he's got an octopus on his head, and then all of a sudden, boom, look, my coin sprouted. I love the page energy cards because they are all so youthful. And we've got reminder on the back. And this reminder card to me, and it reduces to a 10, which reduces to a 1. So you just have a 1. Ones and zeros. You literally have new beginnings here right now. We'll see what the other ones say, but what this is telling me is you've had this constant reminder of the way that things were, the way that your mind worked, the things that you used to believe, the things that you used to know. There we go. But it's a reminder that is popping up not because you aren't worth it, but because it's time for you to remember how far you have come. So that you know that you have already achieved all of this. So now this phase is that beginner's luck phase where it's like everything you do somehow is imbued with beginner's luck. It's like perpetual beginner's luck is what I'm hearing. So we have the High Priestess of Water. This is an emotional overhaul. And then, oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! It's the card Risk. And look, it is literally the Oracle of the Fool. And I absolutely love that. And then we have Trapped with Rephiam and Fulfillment. What did I say? Beginner's luck. Okay, this right here, we're going to talk about this Trapped card and the 9 of Wands. Okay, this is the you have moved your way out of these, because as long as you jump and take the risk, nothing is going to trap you anymore. The Trapped Rephiam card, this is your reminder here from Spirit that when things start getting hard, you need to remember that. Okay, let me tell you, if you haven't ever read these books, it's the Wisdom of the House of Night. So the books are the House of Night books. So Rephiam is a bird boy. He's half bird, half boy. And his father created him, and his father has, quote unquote, turned to the dark side, whatever. And his father used to be a very good man, but he started raping women, and then that's how Rephiam was born. He was the product of that. So Rephiam switches sides. He starts working to try and stop the bad guy in these books. And the goddess Nyx blesses him, but also curses him simultaneously because he killed someone. And so he has to pay the price for that. So during the day, he's a bird. At night, he is a boy. And it's very much like the movie The Polar Bear King, if you've ever seen it. You know, an animal by day and a human by night kind of situation. But with Rephiam, you could see it as being perceived as he's trapped in this bird body during the day. But you know what? He gets to fly. He gets to spread his wings. He gets to experience so much more and see so much more from this state. And in this state, he doesn't have to worry about anything. So this is about you seeing that when you are in a certain state of being, you're not actually trapped there. You're there for a reason. And when you take the risk, when you take the jump and the leap, and you make sure that you don't allow yourself to see yourself as trapped, but you allow yourself to see things from a completely different way of being, and you remember that you have the capability of changing anything and everything, especially your point of view, your ultimate fulfillment is literally beginner's luck, just flowing everywhere. So let's get some messages from your chakras before I let you guys go. Like I told fire signs, these are just going to be very quick messages. If you pick up anything different from the cards, that means that it is definitely something for you. But what I'm seeing here is you're literally taking a risk to get yourself out of a trapped situation or out of a trapped mindset and start seeing things as you are stronger than that, and your ultimate fulfillment is literally within your reach. So we have the card 34 in Universal Light and the card 20 with Play. So this is the Soul Star chakra and your heart chakra. Nope, not the Soul Star. You know what? Let me find out. I can't remember. I could have sworn it was the Soul Star chakra, but I have been known to be wrong. I'm feeling kind of like you guys kind of have me at a point of like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, yes, it is. It is your Soul Star chakra. The reason why is because on the back of the deck, we have your crown chakra with spiritual awakening. And again, 11s, 11s, 7s, 1s, a lot of 1s, a lot of 2020. Some of this stuff started in 2020. But you've got 9, 7s, yeah, 34, 34. You guys have so many like repeating numbers. And then you've got a 4 and a 4, 7 and 7, 11, 10s. Wow, you guys, how many of you have been seeing synchronistic numbers? Some of you are actually seeing 20s and 34s and 4s and 10s. You guys, some of you are going through a true blue, full, first time spiritual awakening process. As in not an ascension, but an actual awakening. For others of you, you're learning through a different form of crown chakra awakening how to harness universal light, but how to play with it, how to play with what your gifts. It's kind of like it's the beginner's luck. Beginner's luck is all about just experimentation and it working. Like I'm just going to throw everything out there and it's just going to suddenly work. And awesome. Seriously, awesome. Do it. Do it. I want to know what you guys are creating. But this new moon in Aries, this new beginning, Spirit really wants you to remember to play, to have fun, to be innocent. You have a light within you. Your job, your journey, it can get stupid heavy. Don't let it. Your fulfillment is in your joy. Your fulfillment is in your joy. And you have beginner's luck, so go do everything that you want to do and be in a beginner's mindset all the time. Don't trap yourself into being the wounded warrior. Be the beginner. All right, Earth signs, you guys are awesome. I love you guys so much. I love your energy. If this resonated, please like the video. Hit the subscription button and the notification bell so that you get updated every time I post a new video. And please share out my video, whether it's sharing with a friend, sharing with a family member, or sharing online on social media or something. The more that this video and all of my videos get shared, the more these messages get out into the collective, and it helps facilitate the healing and the growth. I love you guys all. I want to say thank you so much to Spirit, to your guides, to my guides, and to our higher selves for facilitating this connection and bringing forth these messages. I am always ever so grateful and so full of joy and happiness when I am able to sit here and read for you guys. So thank you again. And I will see you guys again next time. I love you all. Bye. Hello, air signs. So as I explained to fire and to earth, and I will again to water, I know I said I was only going to do oracle cards for the elements, but as I was clearing the collective energy, it was the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot that was like, nope, my turn, my turn, my turn. And I haven't read with these cards in the longest time. And they have been coming forward with such amazing messages for everyone, but also for this new moon in Aries. So I'm going to go ahead and pull your cards. But I do want to tell you that one of the biggest things for you is Mercury is such an air planet. It's that planet of communication, and that to me is what air is. It's all about communication. It's about the way that the divine really speaks to us. And now I have major ringing in my right ear, so you guys may be having an upgrade in your clairaudience especially, but also in channeling, automatic writing, any kind of communication that you do, both on a personal level, but on a divine level, you guys are really, really getting that upgrade. And that upgrade is coming in on your divine masculine energy very firmly. This is like, usually it's my water signs that are leading the charge, that I can see and feel the water signs leading the charge. But there is something with this new moon in Aries that is really calling up my air signs. It's calling up all air signs right now. So let's find out what you guys have as your messages. Oh my gosh, you guys, you can't make this up. This is so great. Okay, we're starting out with, oh my gosh. You guys, it's literally like you guys you have to be tied to the water signs. And look, this even came up in the collective reading, the 3 of Pentacles. So we've got the 5 of Pentacles on the back. This is what you're actually moving out of. But you're actually helping people understand the 5 of Pentacles energy in a completely new way. You're starting to see that there's no such thing as lack. That everything that you need, everything that you could ever possibly want, Spirit literally has right there waiting for you as long as you make the change. And you guys have made the change. This new moon in Aries energy for you guys is literally showing you that the more that you believe in the impossible, you transmute, you alchemize, you change everything. You change your communication, you change the way that you move in the world, you change everything. But you do that because you've come to a place of true blue happiness where you know that there is absolutely nothing within you, nor within your world, that is lacking, ever. Because Spirit has offered you these 5 pentacles, and you have taken them and changed them. You've transmuted them into 10 of cups energy. How you did that, I have no idea. But you know, and you know how to do that or how to share that with others. And that's what Spirit is saying. You're going to be building upon that. You're going to be building upon this joy, this energy, this youthful nature. I am going to call out someone very specifically on this, and you know who you are, but it's time for you to write those books. That just came in for someone, and you know who you are, and we'll talk about about that. But I'm literally seeing you sitting down and writing those books, because when you do that, you're actually going to be healing and alchemizing so much of your inner child energy. But it's going to help your kids. It's going to help all kids. There is something within that you know is going to help. It's like you're ready to help the next generation, so that this doesn't continue moving forward in the collective. This is something that I can literally see you doing. For others of you that are air signs, some of you may want to be illustrators. Some of you may want to make music that actually speaks to a younger generation. This new moon is the absolute best time for you to plant those seeds, to do what you want to do. I'm seeing, the weird thing is I'm looking at this 10 of cups and I'm actually seeing piano keys. So some of you may be singers, may be musicians. But this new moon in Aries, wow, the pressure and ringing on my divine masculine side, my right side, is very powerful. This is literally like your divine masculine is begging you to start taking heartfelt action, to start moving forward in that thing that you want to do. And I am seeing that so strongly, that this new moon in Aries is exactly the time for you to do that. Wow, you guys, I literally have so many cards that just flew out. So let me grab these, because these are not your cards. However, this is, I think, what this feels like to me. Just give me 1 minute. Let me tap into it. So what this feels like to me is you have a lot of things to say to the world. You have a lot of things to bring forward to the world, and you've been holding yourself back. Okay, you guys got 5 oracle cards. You have 45 message, and Spirit's just like, nope, you got to put them out. We've got 41 belonging with House of Night, 46 choices and Kelowna, 16 and invisible. Oh, okay. And then 11 with complicated. Okay. These were your cards. So what I am really seeing is that, oh, okay. You have a message to bring to the world, and you have been holding that back because you're not really sure where it belongs in the world. Not sure where you belong in the world, but you belong in the world. You belong in the world. Your message belongs in the world. The choices that you make will help others to see that they aren't invisible, because you will make them visible through your own words, through your messages, through the choices that you have made to follow what your heart is telling you, to follow what your bliss is telling you. And when you do that, you're going to be able to see the way that you deceive yourself into making things more complicated than they are. This complicated card to me is like, some of you may be seers, oracles, clairvoyants, psychics, prophets, prophetess, depending on whether you are, it's non-gender specific here. But when you can see that far forward, when you can see all the different ways and the different things that you want to do, you can overcomplicate it in your brain. And Spirit is saying it is not as complicated as you think it is. In fact, you can ease out of it by showing others that you see them. And you don't have to do that in a way that is over the top. You just let it out. Just let it out, because when you do that, everything that has felt as though it's been invisible, or every part of you that has felt invisible, you're going to see that it isn't as challenging or isn't as complicated as you think it is. It is a lot easier, but it's taking that first step. Oh my gosh, we had one more in there. Oh my goodness. The moon. Do you have a black cat? Have you been seeing black cats a lot? But see, the moon here is literally saying, you're literally getting a message from this moon. This moon is showing you where you belong. It's showing you how to make the right choices. and making the choices behind the scenes, because it's important for you to know that you can trust yourself and what you're building. You can trust that it's meant to be what it's supposed to be. Don't overcomplicate things. So we have the card 19 and forgiveness. So your heart is calling, oh, this is you forgiving yourself. The card 36 and divine wisdom. And on the back we have 32 with meditation. I'm not going to keep that up here, but I did want to show you that. So this forgiveness card is what is popping out the most. And now I have massive pressure on above my eye on my right side, almost like an instantaneous headache, but it's a lot duller than a true blue migraine. We all do things and feel things that we aren't necessarily proud of at any given point in time. But this new moon is giving you an opportunity to give yourself and others forgiveness. And when you do that, you're going to tap into a higher level of divine wisdom in order to truly help make the changes that you want to make the choices that you know are right for you, to be seen, but to show others that you see them through the simple act of doing what you love, of embracing your inner child and embracing your happiness and embracing your joy. What I'm seeing here is literally you are a messenger of the divine. You bring forth divine wisdom in your messages, and you help take things that feel complicated and ease them into something that makes a lot more sense. You're able to take the things that seem challenging and make them something beautiful, because that's what you've done with yourself. That is the truest nature of alchemy, and you've done that. And I just saw 1212 on my clock, and that may be a repeating number for you. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys. This moon is literally calling for you to get into a different cycle, to hear the messages, to bring forth messages, to do the thing that you want to do, the form of communication that you want to communicate. And we can communicate in so many different ways. You don't even have to make a sound in order to communicate. It's not always like that. Sometimes, you know, you think about interpretive dance. Interpretive dancers literally communicate with their body. Learning how to communicate in different ways is so important. And sometimes meditation is the way to do that. And I don't mean meditating by sitting in silence and going, Om. Whereas that may work for you. But if it doesn't, if you're like me and your brain just goes a million miles a minute, go dance. Go out in nature. Go do something that's active, because you're shutting your brain off from the monkey mind, and you'll be able to hear the messages, and you'll be able to see that anything that has felt too complicated or too challenging or too anything really isn't. The wisdom that you're seeking is within you, and that's an invisible wisdom, but you have the ability to bring forth what is invisible to light, to ease the transitions, to untangle things for other people. And this moon is going to help you find your way to that. And the energy that you're working with is amazing. It's amazing. Don't let yourself fall back into the old patterns. Forgive yourself for the mistakes, for the choices, for the things that you've done that you feel as though are wrong, because you needed to do them to get to here. And that's really important. But now it's time for you to harness the calling from your heart and do that thing that you're meant to do. Okay, air signs, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for being the clinch factor here with the communication, and for bringing forth all the messages that you do in whatever way that you do it. I am so honored to read your energy every single time I sit down with you guys, and I love you guys so much. If this resonated, please hit the like button. Share it out, because the more that you support this channel and share messages, the more these messages get to the people it needs in the collective, and it helps facilitate growth and change and healing. And I truly, truly appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And again, thank you so much. Thank you to your guides, to my guides, to our higher selves, and especially to Spirit for facilitating these messages and for helping me bring them forth to you guys. I love you guys. I love you, love you, love you. Have a beautiful April Fool's Day new moon. And I will see you at my next video. Bye. Okay. Hello, water signs. So as I explained to all the other signs, because you guys come last, even though I said that I was only going to do oracle cards for the elements, as I was clearing from the collective reading and getting prepared for the element readings, the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot deck was like, nope, my turn, my turn. And I haven't used it in such a long time that I definitely listened, you know, and I apologize if you can hear the noise. My kids just got home from school. But this deck has been bringing forth such beautiful messages. And so we're going to find out what this new moon in Aries is all about for you guys. And we're just going to kind of go with what the cards want. So on the back of the deck, we have the Three of Pentacles, which, you know what? You guys may be tied to the air signs, which doesn't surprise me because I just said that for the air sign pile. And I did get the sense that all of the piles were going to kind of flow together. But this is also within the collective energy about building something. I see us building things finally. Building places to belong, building our communities, building our hopes, building our dreams, but doing it in a way that we know our worth. We know that we are the architects of our life, and we know that we are able to do that. So that is really the energy that you're coming forward into this new moon with. So let's find out what Spirit wants you to know. We've got the King of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles. Ooh, that's fun. The Six of Pentacles. Wow, and the Three of Cups. Okay, you guys, wow. Okay, I actually talked about this earlier. I believe it was actually with the earth signs, about how the Page of Pentacles to me is really the card about beginner's luck. In this flow, it's literally about this rebalancing of beginner's luck, because you have found a way to ground yourself into your divine masculine, who knows that I can be patient, I can build slowly, I can do this. And I don't need to be worried about anything because I have the love and support of so many people. And water signs, that's what you're starting to realize. It's almost as though you have been sitting and waiting and being patient and diligent about what you're doing and what you're building. And you have never experienced beginner's luck. And yet somehow now everything that you do from the beginning of this new moon, and the new moon energy starts today, which is the 29th. It's 2 days prior. It starts about 2 days prior and it runs through the duration. Actually, it would start tomorrow is the energy when it would start, like, officially. I forget, there's 31 days in March. But this is that new moon energy. It's 2 days prior and 2 days afterwards, so it runs about 5 days, but it can run longer than that. But what this is really showing me is that you guys you haven't backed down. You haven't backed down, and you've been doing this all in the name of believing that there will be a divine balance to everything that you've built, and you're coming into your own on a physical level, in a material sense, as though it's like the struggles that you've had materially are starting to clear, and it's bringing you further to where you want to be. So we actually got 4 cards that came out for you. So each one actually correlates here to the cards now. And then on the back of the deck, we have Loyalty and Stevie Ray, which is the card 33. Are you guys seeing repeating threes? Repeating threes does not surprise me for you guys. That is collaboration, community, coming together, co-creation. It is divine orchestration. I'm also getting a lot of Ascended Master energy, but also you becoming a master of your own destiny, your own life, your own truth, your own sense of I'm here and this is what I'm going to do. So let's take a look at your cards. We have the card 30 with rigid, which actually reduces to a 3 as well. 35 with strength, which is an 8. 37 cycles, 10 and 1. And I love that it's the moon and cycles, and we're literally talking about the moon cycles. And 21 with growth. So we have 33, 3, 3, 3, 3, 6, 1, and 8. That is overwhelming threes here. Overwhelming. And it's 3:33 on my clock right now. So, holy cow. You guys, it's literally about your community. Your community is finally coming together. Everything that you're building is coming together. Everything is coming back into balance. And it's because you have shifted yourself into the King of Pentacles cards, but you've kept this youthful, innocent hopefulness alive. You've matched what you're building with what your heart wants. You haven't backed down. And that level of strength, and usually the rigid card is like, you need to be more flexible. But this is, what I'm seeing here is more along the lines of you got really grounded and you said, this is what I want. And I'm not budging from that. And the thing is you stayed 100% loyal to you, to your heart, to your goodness, no matter what came at you. Stevie Ray, so in these books, Stevie Ray, actually, she dies. And then she gets turned into what's called a red vampire, or one that fits within the guise of how vampire lore really is instead of how it is in the books. But she stays so true to being better than what her situation is. You know, she has all these natural negative instinctual urges once she becomes a red vampire. But she stays so true to herself. She stays true to her goodness, true to her heart. She is loyal to a fault, to the love that she holds within. And because of that, she gets rewarded. She becomes the first of her kind because she becomes blessed. And that is like you becoming the first in your family. You becoming the first in a long line. It's like you becoming the first out of your ancestors, or out of generations and generations. You have become the first in something, and you did this by being so devoted and loyal to yourself, to your cause, to your truth, to your worth. It's amazing. It's amazing to see this. And this is my favorite Six of Pentacles card, because, you know, when you look at it, you've got 3 people, and there's one begging, and there's another one with their hands out, and the man in the middle is deciding who gets what, who's going to get the resources, and holding a balancing act. This is about you giving to your heart before you give to your throat chakra, essentially. It's about you knowing that everything needs to come from the heart, so you have to feed the heart in order to bring things into balance. And that's what you did. You really genuinely fed your heart. And I look at the robe colors for this. This is your root chakra, your crown chakra, and your sacral chakra. So this is you being very grounded in your spiritual creativity, your spiritual emotions, and feeding the positive nature to your heart before you move forward, before you try to communicate, before you use your throat chakra, so that you don't end up saying things that you don't mean or misrepresenting yourself. You move in the way that you're meant to move from your heart. Does that mean that it's always going to be sweet and wonderful? No, because you know what? Stevie Ray wasn't always sweet and wonderful. She's strong. Strength sometimes comes in the form of significantly different than what we think. Strength is never harsh, but it's honest. So you guys actually got 4 chakra cards. Now on the back you have the crown chakra with I am presence, which is the card 30, which reduces to a 3 as well. And then we have the card 11 with inspiration. That's your sacral chakra. The card 28 with visualization. So again, we've got 1, 1, 1, 1 here. So 1s and 3s may be repeating for you. Then we've got the card 12 with relationships, which is also a 3. And the card 21 with communications, which is also a 3. You can't make this stuff up, guys. So again, like I was saying, you were feeding your heart before you started communicating, before you would speak out. This is about you really taking care of those lower chakras and learning how to fuel everything and feed everything into your heart space before you start working with the higher chakras. You've learned how to visualize different things, but also your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, your telepathy, spiritual communication is coming to a completely different level during this new moon phase and moving forward. It's going to be something that I can see helps you build upon the relationship that you have with yourself, but the relationships that I'm seeing here is not just love, but yes, love, absolutely. But it's your community. Like I said, your community is coming together during this time. And it's going to happen just like that. I just heard lickety split. So, water signs, I feel like this is like the biggest sigh of relief imaginable. It's like a 3rd time's the charm kind of situation. And you know what? I actually heard that when I was shuffling quite a while ago. It was earlier today when I was doing a different reading, but it came in and then it went away and then I couldn't remember it at all. And now it just popped back into my head. 3rd time's the charm. Whatever it is that you have tried twice and you're like, do I really want to do this again? It's time to do it again. 3rd time's a charm. 3rd time's a charm. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. 3. 3, 3, 3, 3 threes. All right. Water signs. Wow. The level of synchronicities, the level of numerology in this is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. I absolutely love it. I think this is phenomenal. I cannot wait to hear more about what seeds you are planting in this new moon in Aries, because I think it's going to change the game for you, but also for the entire world. So, water signs, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your guides, to my guides, to our higher selves, and thank you to Spirit for facilitating these connections and for bringing these messages forth. I also want to say thank you to you for being here one more time. You guys are amazing. You move me to tears. You touch my heart and my soul every time I get to read for you. I also want to... Oh, sorry. I'm sitting here looking. I wanted to mention that we've got 1221, so you may be seeing palindromes a lot. Numerical and words like, you know, race car, taco cat. Taco cat. It's my favorite. You may be seeing palindromes. If you are, pay attention. There's something there for you. There's something that's calling to you to pay attention to. And I just heard my husband's computer ding, so I'm taking that as a confirmation. If you're seeing palindromes, it's important. All right, water signs. If this resonated, please like this video, share it out, share it with your friends, your family, share it out on social media. The more people that share my videos and interact with my videos, the more they get into the collective and the healing messages can get out to the people that need it. So we can work together on it. I would appreciate it. And I always appreciate when you guys collaborate with me and are here to get the messages and when I get to bring messages forward. So thank you for that. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And stay tuned because I have some really awesome ones planned. And I am just very, very grateful to be here every single time I'm here. So thank you again. I love you. I love you. I love you. I will see you next time. Bye.